I have always wondered, being a political science major, I've always thought about the fact that the parliament, we're always told the parliament runs Great Britain. And what I found out is that the queen or king, whoever is having that title at the time, has a lot of power that I didn't realize. So I'm just going to go ahead and attribute all of this to the current queen. So I'm just going to say the queen has these powers, but just know at any given time, it could be Prince Charles, it could even be Prince William at any time in our lifetime could have these particular powers. One that I found particularly interesting and didn't realize is that the queen has to sign off on a proposed bill before it actually becomes a law.
Okay.
That's quite a significant amount of power from something we are told is just a figurehead. Now, the last time that happened was in 1708 by Queen Anne, who I don't believe you mentioned.
Not one of my favorites.
Yeah, she didn't want to restore the Scottish militia, so she said no. But the last time that happened was 1708, which is pretty incredible, I think.
Probably had to do with the Jacobite uprising and the fact that they didn't want the Scots to be their own country and lose all the money they were getting. Just
right.
Again.
Just spitballing on that one. She can appoint ministers to the crown, including advisors and cabinet officials. The prime minister also has that power. She can pardon criminals and reduce sentences. She can issue or withdraw passports.
Oh.
Now, yes, she can. So you better be nice and not.
So if she had really, really been upset with Harry over Meghan, she could have just rescinded his passport. Ooh.
Yes.
I think that's fascinating.
I do too. Oh, there's some more fascinating things I got into. She can declare war, much like our president can declare war. However, Parliament and the Prime Minister and the rest of government will have to permit it. But she's the only one who can actually declare it.
Okay.
Now, I just think of this 90-some-odd-year-old woman maybe becoming mentally unfit, and she's the only person who can declare war. I would hope they'd have some measures to get around that if they need some help. Actually, the last monarch to declare war was her father, and that was on Nazi Germany. This one I kind of like, although I think it's an insane amount of power and probably shouldn't be given to one person, but I like the idea behind it. If she so chooses, she can fire everyone in the House of Commons and hold an entirely new election.
Wouldn't that be fantastic?
That would be. That is a great power to have.
Yep.
I don't know the last time that it was used or if it's ever been used.
Okay.
But that is, for someone who's supposedly pitched to us as a figurehead, I feel like she's got a lot more power than
There's a lot more power.
Oh,
yeah,
definitely. Now, I talked about some powers that she has. Now, here's some permissions that she has. Maybe that's the way I'll describe the rest of this. She doesn't have to have a driver's license. However, she can drive. Now, she was trained as a driver and a mechanic during World War II.
That's cool. Incredible.
She's actually got a pretty cool past. She really begged her dad to let her help. I think when she was 16, she really wanted to be involved and not just sit back. And so that is also one of the things she wanted to do, was be involved in World War II. She enjoys sovereign immunity. So basically, she can't be arrested for anything. She can come into your house and murder you, and it's fine.
Almost like any other foreign dignitary.
Right. A foreign dignitary. We do not allow our officials to just murder us. At least if they do, we make them cover it up. We don't just outright allow it.
There's good true crime about that somewhere, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I'm referencing something like that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
This permission that she has, Monica, I was like, are you kidding me, right? This one, I was like, this can't be real. She is the legal guardian of all of her descendants and minor grandchildren. If she wanted to, she could just snatch up those 3 kids from Will and Kate.
No.
Absolutely.
It could be like, I don't like the way you're raising my grandchild.
100%.
Holy cow.
Now, think about that when you're Princess Di, Meghan
Yeah.
Markle,
Mm-hmm.
or
No, that's a
Kate.
scary proposition.
So if Markle didn't want to be a part of this, giving up being in the royal family would also mean you didn't have this kind.
Mm-hmm.
And I could say, as an American, you're an American, I'm an American.
Yeah, it's foundation
That
of
is
who we are. That would be scary.
That is a very we do not like people controlling us. I could see why I would have a hard time with it.
Yeah.
I would have a hard time marrying in the first place. I would just have to trust that this person I don't know very well isn't going to suddenly go sociopath on me with my children. That would just be strange. So I wonder if that didn't play into it.
It may have. I think as Americans, we have a strong sense of independence and self-independence.
Yes, absolutely.
So someone else pulling the strings on any part of our life is an affront to who we are innately.
Yes, even if sometimes that comes to be our downfall, but most of the time it is actually a good thing for us. But you're right about that being one of the things about being American that we really stand by. In contrast, when we look over at the royal family, they don't have to pay taxes. However, most of them do donate a portion of their monies back.
Their taxed earned income.
Yes. Now, I will say this about William and Kate. Prince William is the first royal to ever have a civilian job. And Kate had a job for a little bit. I think she was a purchaser for a department store, an assistant purchaser. He had to give that up because the royal duties really are overwhelming. They go to over 2,000 different events or split up amongst all the royal family. So there is a lot to do. And from someone like myself who just went away each weekend for the past 3 weekends, it is hard to travel. It is hard to show up to things and be on point because they have to walk down the stairs properly. They have to wear certain clothes. I mean, it is a performance.
Everything about it is
each
staged
time.
and choreographed.
Absolutely. So that is a lot of pressure. I understand why they can't maintain jobs. Now, Kate did for as long as she could. And I believe that William still does, but it's more part-time. I believe he runs. Now, other people might know exactly what this is, but it looks like he runs a helicopter for an ambulance service.
Yes, he does.
Which I thought was pretty kind of heroic. I was like, oh, how cute is that, that the prince does that? It was just the cutest thing. You could write a fairy tale around those two. I'm sorry.
I think
you
so
absolutely
too.
could. And Kate dresses her kids so cute, can't even handle it. We have one last thing that I would have a really, really hard time with. The monarchy is exempt from the Freedom of Information Act. You cannot access detailed information on how they spend public funds or what attempts they have gone to influence government policies.
Interesting.
So basically, they can just do what they want. That is quite a lot of powers and permissions for someone who I feel like has been presented to me across the pond as just a pretty little figurehead.
I would agree. I think that's probably the most egregious one because here you are paying tax dollars to a monarchy that you're told is the figurehead, and yet you have no idea how they're manipulating your elected government